All right, this test, let's see. It says conduct. I'm looking at what the, first of all, what the test claim is. It says in the last sentence, basically it says determine if the true proportion is lower than the general population. So I know it's pretty wordy, but it says proportion in this town is less than, lower than the general population, which is, it says general population is 9.5%. So 0.09, oops. Here, so is the test for mean or proportion? Is proportion, because look at the percentage, right? Well, it says proportion here, but even if it didn't say that, it'd be like we're testing if it's like less than 9.5%. So null alternative hypothesis. Here I'm looking at the claim. Claim has strict equality, like strictly less than, there's an equal sign. So that means this is alternative hypothesis. So p less than 0.095. This is my original claim. And h0 is just opposite of that. So p bigger than equal to 0.095. Is it right-tailed, left-tailed, or two-tailed? Again, I'm looking at HA for the tail. So HA comes from tail all the time. And this is what we're going to plug it into calculator, this inequality symbol. So it's going to be left-tailed because we're looking at this thing is left-tailed. Like I imagine it's pointing to the left direction. Side note, if I have something like this, will be right-tailed. I imagine like it's pointing to the right. All right, what symbol represents a random variable? Here we're looking at proportion, like we took 100 and out of 7 out of 100, so that's like sample proportion. We use it as p hat. Book uses p with the little dash thing. Same thing. Sample proportion, distribution of the sample proportion, distribution of the sample proportion. Don't worry too much about like part E or part G. It's a little too technical. I'm not going to go into that much detail. Let's look at the calculate the following. X is 7, that's the number of yeses. Here, out of 100 people they surveyed, it says out of 100 people and 7 of them suffer depression. So that's like 100 is sample size, 7 is number of successes. That means 0.07. I got that by 7 divided by 100. So general population is 9.5%. In this particular example, the rate is 7%. G, you don't have to worry too much, but it's P times Q over N. So this will be 0. So I'm not going to even go there. This is the formula, but don't ignore that question. This is going to be normal. So for proportion, we're going to use, that's why in calculator is one proportion z test, because it becomes normal distribution. Find the p-value, so kind of we use one prop z test. One proportion, because we're testing for proportions, I'm using and then it's z-test because distribution, it becomes normal. Here I'm going to plug in p0 means give me the p from h0. I'm looking h0. P is greater than or equal to this number, so that's what I'm going to plug in. They want x, which is 7. They want n, which is 100. And they want either this, or that. I'm picking the middle one because that's what I have in HA. Again, this always goes to that. And that's it. I'm going to calculate it. P-value is, what is p-value? Is 0.197. So that's definitely bigger than alpha. So p-value is bigger than alpha. It means my sample is not unusual. So sample is not unusual. Again, unusual means small probability. Our sample had 0.1 197, which is big probability. So again, and then my decision is I reject things that are unusual. This is not unusual, so fail to reject H0. And that means fail to support, automatically means fail to support the opposite, which is support HA, which is the claim. So my final conclusion is we have, I'm not going to write it, okay, maybe I'm going to write it. We don't have sufficient evidence to support the claim. Okay. And this is case where it's inconclusive. Basically, we can't tell if it's lower than the general population, so we cannot support that statement here.